You are now listening to Sembang Panas Podcast.
Yo, what is up people? Selamat datang ke lagi satu episod Al-Kisah Podcast. Sebelum kita mulakan kita punya podcast ni, jangan lupa podcast kita dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh kami dari Tim Ronin. Kira korang tak sepak masuk Jadi untuk korang yang nak kuruskan badan, nak cantikkan badan, nak handsomekan diri, ataupun korang just nak control korang punya blood sugar level and insulin level, jangan lupalah tu produk One Practice ada.
Yes, tu produk One Practice ada dua produk, satu Unimate, lagi satu BioLFS. Unimate is for your morning, BioLFS is for your before your lunch and before your dinner.
So kalau korang nak try FeelGreat, go to our individual bios.
Aidi.Isham,
Breathwork,
Zeya.
dan kita akan jumpa korang sebentar saja nanti. Let's go.
Di studio, jom dengar Al-Kisah, nak buka cerita. Tak kisah, Al-Kisah, Alkisahproduction. Tiga budak dope dalam stu, semua stick macam glue, semua sick macam flu, Dulu tak kenal, now you know. Guess who? Pass the mic, pedas panas padu, AKP di studio, jom dengar Al-Kisah, nak buka cerita. Tak kisah, Alkisahproduction.
Yo, what is up people? Saya Aidi Syam.
it's your boy Breathwork.
Zeya.
Yeah guys, dan hari ni kita akan bawakan korang satu topik yang jarang-jarang kita dengar dibincangkan secara terbuka, especially dalam kita punya Malay Muslim community. Kita akan berbual pasal seks. Kita akan berbual pasal relationship. Dan semua yang sewaktu dengannya. Salah channel.
What have?
Salah. Kau nak pull dia tak?
Benda ni selalunya biasa-biasanya diberbualkan di dalam bilik tidur.
Amin.
Di belakang pintu tertutup. Tapi hari ni kita ada somebody. Kita akan kupaskan habis-habisan topik ni. Pasal kita ada someone yang memang berani.
Betul.
Dia dah mati. Sial lah, gua kena cancel lagi. Dan dia very passionate dalam topik ni. Itu yang penting lah. And yang penting sekali, dia adalah seorang sex and relationship coach.
In training.
In training. Tak penting in training ke tidak. Yang penting dia already on the roll, you know.
On the road to it.
And the most interesting part is because she's a Malay Muslim woman, so it's breaking the taboo or breaking the boundaries of a lot of things that actually isn't there, but our community just put the boundary there. So we have none other than Dee Ashburn daripada Love Sex and WTF.
Hi, I'm here again.
First time lah.
Okay.
First time.
Mana ada
Al-Kisah first time invite you. Don't worry, we'll be nice.
Dee, so introduce yourself, Dee.
Hi, I'm Dee Ashburn from Love Sex and WTF podcast, and your sex and relationship coach in training.
In training itu penting. Okay, Dee, we just gonna cut to the chase.
Yes.
Okay, so yang first question I think in a lot of orang punya mind, apa yang buat kau inspired nak step into field ni, jadi sex and relationship coach? Apa sebenarnya benda ni? Apa benda ni? Apa?
What started it?
Pakcik nak seks? Dia dah gitu tau kat rumah sekarang.
Okay, aku rasa for a very long time I've always been giving free advice lah, so to speak. Tapi this is in view of maybe aku punya experiences in life and things that I've read about, and I've always been interested in sex. I must say it's just really a topic of interest. It started with trying to get
Apa first?
You know why?
Why?
When we go to your podcast, you have to be in English, right?
Yeah.
Kat sini kita bawa Melayu. Tiba-tiba dia, because I'm interested, right? So,
Kan dah biasa.
Okay, go.
Apa ni? Okay, so basically it has always been my interest to learn about pleasure and not teaching lah, tapi inspire people to explore pleasure.
Okay.
So it may sound really macam, oh my God, I can't believe she's saying this, but I feel pleasure is a very important part of every human being's life, and it shouldn't be just a one-way experience, because in our community ramai yang just fikir benda intimasi ni hanya untuk like what we are taught lah, and we are shame is okay, sex is very private, which is it's a private moment between two people to be intimate and stuff.
Betul.
But there's a whole lot of focus on male pleasure as opposed to female punya pleasure, and you know, a lot of it is okay. Many lah, especially community kita cakap, oh laki kau kalau nak, kau nak kena kasih. Kau nak tak nak, kalau kau tak kasih dosa.
Oh, yes.
A
Kita
lot of
selalu
that
dengar.
lah.
Yes,
You know,
correct.
and of course, talking about sex is is being shamed just because you are open about it. You're shamed about it, and if you're not good at it, pun you're shamed about it. If let's say men do have affairs, and then the wives will be shamed because they say engkau tak tahu layan suami, etc., etc. And a lot of men, for that matter, they do not know that pleasure is not just one way, it's not just one style, and it's just penetration and then that's it. Because many would just say that, okay, aku dah intimasi anjing. Ada orang pernah cakap anjing pun pandai main, kenapa nak kena ajar?
Oh yeah. I think bila orang dengar sex relationship kau, orang ni fikir kau ajar orang main. Honestly, that was my thoughts lah. Like apa dia kena macam buka buku Kama Sutra. Okay, lesson 1. Session 1 kita ni practical 1, practical 2. Okay. These two style. Macam gitu.
There's a lot of misconception on that. Of course, as a sex coach, we will, macam kau main bola, kau pandai main bola apa? Orang ada yang pandai main bola.
Betul.
Tapi kenapa nak kena ada coach? Kalau kau pandai main bola.
Betul.
Kalau gitu Man U jangan ada coach lah. Liverpool tak payah ada coach lah.
Make sense.
Faham?
Make sense.
Betul.
You know?
betul.
The reason why there is a coach or this profession exists, it is to guide people who wants to elevate their pleasure experience and their connection with their partners.
So kira kau kat side is kau macam, hey, master! Boleh!
Yellow card.
Wrong!
Okay, left hand green. Kira
Itu dah referee nya.
Oh, lain dah salah.
Lain.
Wrong! Reserve!
Twister Aidi. So
macam mana tu actually? Macam do you like macam ajar diorang macam new styles ke, macam give them something to explore on their own ke?
Okay, that is of course later on, which is of course not from the first session from the get-go. So first session usually, okay, the institute that I'm working with is or my school is Somatic Institute. So we're learning somatic work. So somatic work ni dia banyak tau bercabang. That means sometimes people do somatic body work. It's about being in your body and understanding what your body needs, or you know what are your desires that your body is holding. So kirakan macam has got to do with body lah, somatic body. So in basically the philosophy or how we do things, it's layered. Right now I'm doing layered learning. So layered experience, that means it starts from the bottom before we can build that up to something. So doesn't mean aku jumpa, and okay, this practice or practitioners of Somatica, they do different sorts of work. We can be our own type of we can go into our own type of coaching. Bermaksud, the founders of Somatica, obviously diorang akan do everything. That means they do single sessions, and they do macam certain exercises that mungkin untuk orang Asia ni a bit too much.
Oh, okay.
You know, I won't be doing that.
Okay.
Even if I were to do those sort of practices, I would probably just memang aku dari dulu memang nak buat a couple sort of sessions.
Okay.
So it won't be one-on-one. So it could be single. If you do come across diorang punya website or the videos that they have online, they do have works where the coach is with a client that does exercises to activate or kirakan awaken dia orang punya erotic energy atau dia punya arousal.
Ni yang tantric tu semua
Tantric is an extension of that, but tantric is we have not got into tantra, but tantra has been spoken about in this.
So something macam
It's related
macam
lah.
dia punya
Correct.
client
Yeah.
duduk for example and then coach dia kat belakang macam try pegang tengok mana erotic. Okay,
No, not
this
that.
side.
So okay, for one example, there's this.
Ketawa.
Aku imagine kalau kau.
Itu yang aku nampak. Kau. Sini telinga.
Oh tidak.
Dia sampai sini telinga jangan. Itu saya tahu.
So for single sessions yang macam gitu tu, my study videos lah yang I've watched that my teachers have done. One of it is a lot to do with you being connected to your body and trying to understand what is your body telling you, what is it desiring, and what are the things that it has to do with your mind and macam mana it gets connected to how when kau dari kecil, what are the things that contributed to the things that arouses you or your desires.
Oh, that's
Wow,
great,
very interesting
man.
then.
Yeah,
Have
so
you practiced it already?
yeah, in class definitely.
Can we try one session ni? Like in podcast, aku just diam je. Then kau cakap. That was okay.
Yeah,
let's try,
Part of it is, of course, you have to close your eyes and then I will just
Oh,
ask
dia dah
you to
ready terus.
like deep breath, bringing your breath from, we do the 3-part breathing. That means like first, you fill out your chest, just like how yoga is, right? But this one, the difference is it goes down to, especially if you want to like try and activate your arousal, is you bring your breath down all the way down to your pussy or cock or your anus. So that means when you bring your breath,
Ya, aku tengah nak.
so when you, so it's part of the exercise that you just take a deep breath in. So okay, if you want to do the parts, you can try do it now.
Okay.
So
Kanan tu dah pusing kanan.
okay, it's a this this is called
kita
the
try.
embodiment exercise. It's just
Okay, let's go.
embodiment. It's just breathing.
Okay.
Okay, if you can try and activate it, you can try connect yourself. I just want all of you to be present in your body.
Okay.
Okay.
Sekarang ni
Listeners pun
sebelum
semua ikut.
sebelum kau sambung, korang just imagine orang yang tengah dengar podcast ni dalam bas, dalam mati. Dia kira tengah tutup mata tengah.
Okay, kita try ni.
Okay,
Okay, here we go.
so I just want you to be in your most comfortable position. All right, you just relax your shoulders. You can close your eyes, open your eyes, whichever you feel comfortable.
Alright.
So you just follow the sound of my voice. Okay.
Fuh.
So I'd like to invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and fill up your chest. Every cavity in your chest, just try to fill up with air. And out. But now when you release, when you exhale, I want you to sigh. I want you to, give a big breath out. For example,
Diam lah, apa?
Aku tengah try.
Dia
Jap.
suruh buat habis
Yeah.
Kejap, aku
ketawa.
tengah try.
Yeah.
Jap.
Now, one more time, but I want you to take your breath through your mouth. Breathe through your mouth. And out.
Ferd, kau jangan semput, Ferd.
One more time. Breath through your mouth, fill out your chest. And out.
Is it normal to feel my cock like pulsating?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
just take your breath.
Sorry for if it's too much info, guys.
Okay.
You know, when I say take your breath in, right? Because you're trying to activate arousal, right? So when you take your breath in, look at my mouth. Kene.
Ini biasa.
And out. Now, I'd like to invite you to do the same breath, but now bring your breath into and fill up your bellies. Put your hand on your belly if possible. And breathe in. And out. One more time. Breathe in. And out. Now I want you to take in the breath and bring it all the way to your pussy or your cock. Go. Squeeze that perineum and out. Try to activate it. Try to connect it. One more time, breath in. And out. So one last breath, and I want you to really squeeze that perineum. And one breath in. And out. I want you to take a few more slow breaths. You can just breathe normally. And be present with your body. And try to feel all the sensations that's present. Whether it's in your belly, or is it in your hands, your feet, your shoulders, your neck. Try to be one with that sensation. And that's it.
Alright guys, that will be $300. Please pay now to.
Tapi
Rasa tu.
Oh, rasa.
Oh, rasa.
I mean, if
You didn't do.
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, but you cannot show too much. Okay.
I'm taking it. Aku speed up lah. But if really in a real session, the arousal. Okay, the reason why aku cakap when you do you take your breath in kan, habis lepas tu kau like really squeeze kau punya macam for lack of better word anus lah, anus, and macam kita, you know how we doing
Kemut
kegels,
lah.
Kegels, yeah.
and then after that you release. You can actually, even during sex, when you do that, when you are, especially like women if you're on top, or men if you're thrusting, or you know she's on top of you and then you're trying to hold it right, you can get a bit more aroused just by breath work.
Damn, banyak benda saya nak fikir. Nak fokus masuk, nak fokus kemut jubur.
It will be a second nature.
Yang
Yeah,
kejap
it will
nak
be-
kemut jubur. Dia cakap
Dia cakap kena try.
asal kau tak bergerak? Sabar, tengah kemut jubur. Sabar.
If you practice it as normally, right, you don't need to do macam. Actually, even during sex, you can just like, okay, for me lah, if I were to do this exercise and while intercourse, usually it will be just like really slow movements, but I'm in with my body, I'm in with my breath, and I'm connected to my.
So dia macam sekali arung lah.
Yeah.
Dia bukan macam stop ni, try fokus ni. Dia
So
sekali jalan
the
lah.
reason why breath, right, you bring in a whole lot of oxygen and your body you feel more sensations. That's why if I ask you to macam tadi, ask you to squeeze your perineum and stuff like that, right, and then you just release, you actually bringing blood to the area. So it activates the
Actually
arousal.
tadi bila yang kau suruh tu, aku dalam otak apa perineum tu tadi. Aku confused sebenarnya.
Actually nak cakap kemut jumpa kalian. Yeah.
Okay, jadi
so
tapi
just
jangan risau. Tapi kalau korang engage dia akan explain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Further lah,
what
yeah.
just now is kirakan speed up lah. Kalau nak cepat macam like really take our time, nanti aku cakap apa lah.
Pasal dia Aidi kata gitu, aku was like thinking, takkan in the middle dia kena
No, actually even okay. For example, when you're having sex, you moan, right? So that is a part of moaning, isn't it? Macam you take a like deep breath in, like,
Okay, that is
Like-
why now understand why Dee punya session is all private, like macam one to one or with the couple only. Tadi kita buat ramai-ramai awkward.
Definitely. Okay,
I mean,
okay,
if you're
okay.
not used to it, obviously, but even if when I first started class, it's a bit weird, especially we have to do practices with our classmates that we have never met before. Pasal during Zoom, diorang must just tukar orang. So literally, I meet the first person like that, I have to do this arousal exercise already.
Okay.
But then again, if for us practitioners, we will have to meet clients anyway, like kita tak pernah jumpa. So you know, it's part of that.
But how are you going to push this to our people?
Yeah, I mean, as much as we hate to say it lah, I mean, as a Malay Muslim woman pursuing this thing, like, apa kau punya macam biggest fear atau kau punya hesitation? Has there ever been any?
No, I'm pretty confident with it because I have many sisters who hijabi sisters, like kalau kita nak cakap I guess women who look like me won't be that shy to come forward, I suppose.
Yes,
maybe
correct.
they are, but maybe lower percentage. But I've met a few, in fact, when I was holding a talk in Clubhouse in the past. That one aku just memang berbual-bual macam gini. It's just the interest that whatever I've read about, openly, you know, talking about it, and especially female pleasure empowerment, because it's really not talked about, right?
Yeah.
You'll be surprised, a lot of the ladies that came in, because it's just ladies only punya session, and many of them actually wear tudung. Many of them actually want to know. Ramai juga masa anak dara baru nak kahwin, habis lepas tu cakap, Kak Dee, I'm really scared that, you know, it's my first time. I'm afraid that what if I cannot. So yeah, as long as we don't, you see, if the community need to unlearn that the term sex is not a dirty word, macam please do not shame sex lah. It is something that we have to talk about so that people are well informed. You will have everlasting good sex, or what is good sex anyway, because people have very different benchmarks. But sometimes people don't even know what's their benchmark, what do they want, or they don't know how to ask about the things that they want. So my duty or my role in all of this is for you to learn how to communicate to your spouses, to your partners or whatever, to say that, okay, I want to try this, but how can we try? How can we navigate this? Because when you are married, obviously you want to be married for a very long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you want to be able to always be open about anything. And apart, again, it's also based on relationships. So I will give you the tools to how to communicate. Orang selalu cakap communicate, tapi orang tak tahu macam mana nak buat tu. So apart from communicating, of course is also to understand whether your reactions ni, is it stem from unhealed traumas or stem from like your unhealed inner child that many of us kept hidden, and we do not know why are we reacting in a certain manner.
Then some of them could be victims of
Sexual
SA,
assault.
all this.
Yeah.
Then they
All of
cannot,
that.
when they get married, it's impossible for them to overcome that also. I've heard of such cases.
Yeah.
So this kind of coaching will come in very handy for this kind of ladies. And gents actually.
Yeah.
Both ways.
Both ways, in fact.
Yeah.
And of course, a coach can only have a certain limitation or jurisdiction. That's why it's important that, you know, I have people in the community, like within the sexual wellness community, the right professionals to direct you to. So macam, I can do this. This is what I do on a basis. Tapi kalau aku rasa, if you really need help, for example, you are a narcissist who needs definitely, you know, your partner is a narcissist and he or she definitely needs help. It does not fall under my jurisdiction. I might have to, you know, refer you to a therapist who is mahir dalam benda ni lah. Who's the right people to do it. So bila orang dengar aku sex coach, kau ajar orang nak main sex, that, but it's not as easy as that.
Not straightforward lah.
It is deeper than that. It's so many things that even for myself, I had to be vulnerable, sharing my inner macam fears or inner struggles in this class. And trust me, aku cry a lot in this session. I had a spiritual awakening while I was doing this course, because it somewhat made me see people in such a different way. So I now see people in more compassionate lens. Like as easy as, of course I can wear a different hat, tapi macam now I just find myself being more empathetic towards people.
Seeing the good in people more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Despite their macam bad decisions, because one thing I learned is there's no bad people, just people who made bad decisions. That's it.
Well said.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Aku nak tanya juga, macam how was kau punya friends and family punya reaction, atau did they macam support ke? Diorang macam questioning kau punya career choice ke? How was it?
Yeah.
To be honest, my everyone actually is very supportive of what I do, because they know I'm naturally very sexual. I'm a very sexual being, and I'm very proud of it. And and I feel that being having a sexual energy, or being a very sexual being, is can be very healing.
Okay.
I know people don't see that, but like in my in my classmates, whatever, we are the people of very like-minded people. And bila aku first start class tu, I remember bila kita buat introduction kan, aku nangis ya, because that was the first time ever I can let my guard down. You know, being here in Singapore, obviously being a social media person, it's very hard because there's so much shame around being who I am. I thought I felt shameful for a while because of, you know, societal expectations. Tapi bila aku pergi situ and I see people who thinks like me, talks like me, and I was like, fuck, I found my people. So it's really healing. And many of them said, like, you know, I still remember the group leaders or the teachers were saying, oh, my name is so and so and I'm a slut. Because you know why? It's empowering to say that, because people are slut shaming them all the time.
So they own it lah.
Own it lah.
Own it lah.
Wow.
You know, I mean, I guess many tak tahu malu ke perempuan ni nak buat pasal main ke apa gini. But y'all are having affairs behind your spouse's back. What the fuck you're talking about? So my goal is, yang tadi coming back to kenapa aku nak buat ni, I just feel it's my calling to help our community to stop having affairs and making them love their spouses even more. Macam it's like my form of wanting to do community service, because nobody dares to do it, or people are just so scared to be cancelled. But I feel that if I come from a place of love and I, you know, datang dengan penuh kasih sayang, and niat aku is really it's nothing malicious. You know, sex can be beautiful if you look at it in a positive light.
Correct.
Kan? And yeah, so far family and friends, they are very, very supportive, and they know this is just me. They, you know, might as well get certified, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Alright.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Right. Tapi macam patah balik dekat soalan ke Ana tadi, like, do you have any plans, ataupun do you honestly find it that it's gonna be hard, especially pushing this thing to Malay clients?
One of the reasons why I haven't done this podcast in Malay is because I don't take the Malay community as my main target audience. Right? I make it available to everyone. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, green, Malay, brown, Indian, or whatever.
Hak pun kau.
Yeah.
But do you feel that this is the community that needs it most?
Oh, hilang aja. Bawa. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
Because they tie sex with religion. They tie sex with all kind of thing, marwah diri and all this kind of thing. So the moment you want to talk about it or you want to seek help, don't even talk about it. Let's say you realize that, I need help on this.
yeah.
First person you might ask is maybe your parents. Like, I feel like I need help. No, some ladies, they are very close to their mums, right? Some.
Laki kau minta kasih je lah.
So dorang nak bilang pun, dorang macam mana aku nak bilang aku tak boleh bilang. Then they will need to find a way on how am I going to source this, who am I going to go and ask. Takkan aku nak klinik.
That's why I feel it's
Turis VPN.
That's why I feel it's vital for maybe now me lah. Right?
Yeah.
People, characters like
Correct.
me, or personalities like me, who come forth and say like, hey,
Yes.
I'm your safe space. You know, bukan tak ada. There are many sex coaches out there. There's a few. I've not seen any Malay punya sex coach.
Yeah.
You know, from the people in the community. I was one of my guests, which is Norinda. She's one of the people that inspired me to go on into this journey. But Norinda is a sexpert of sorts lah. She's a sex blogger. She's a Malay also.
Nice.
And you know, she already fought this battle. So of course the stereotypical accusations of kita Melayu mana boleh buat gini.
Yeah,
buat
because
gini,
I've known of couples who divorce pasal they cannot consummate their marriage.
Yeah,
And then they don't know where to go for help. So
and
divorce lah.
You cannot simply go to a mosque. Obviously, they will just
Exactly.
give you this kind of stuff. I mean, like, yeah.
Pak Ustaz more confused.
You see, when you have a toothache, right? You wouldn't go and see uncle jual nasi lemak apa.
Correct.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go to see a cardiologist. What?
Yeah.
You go see a dentist. So many people, I feel in our community, they will just say, oh, of course they tie sex with religion. I'm not saying that is wrong. Of course there's certain limitations to or obligations that we have to adhere to.
Yes.
But I feel that they are not the specialist when it comes to intimacy.
Correct.
So you will have to go to the right people. Of course, within religion, like, I'm not going to advise you what's the right or wrong, right or wrong religiously, because that is not my specialty.
Yeah.
Kan? Aku bukan nak akan bilang kau hukum hakam ke apa.
Yes.
That's not my place. So of course, within your religious obligations, you take whatever advices that I give you, and then if you want to try it out, it's really up to you. But again, if whatever practices, or even if I'm seeing sessions, is within seeing the couple themselves, it's not just like one person je aku, see. I don't mind seeing ladies one-on-one because it's about female sexual empowerment. But men in particular, I don't think in my practice I will be seeing men. Even if let's say there will be men, I will really need them to bring a chaperone. It's of course for my own safety.
Yeah,
Yeah,
safety.
correct.
Chaperone.
Yeah.
Kau nak tanya tak apa tu?
Dia nak jadi airport tau. He will fill up a list also.
Chaperone means ada orang teman lah. Macam tak boleh aku dengan lelaki tu 2 orang saja.
Macam perempuan kalau pergi doktor, there will always be a nurse there. Jadi tak kena tu.
Teman lah.
Teman lah, saya kira simple lah.
Chaperone.
Dik, kau walaupun kau in training, you have already met a few clients.
I already have sessions.
A few sessions.
Oh, wow.
Aku nak tanya has there ever been a client where kau dah jumpa and then maybe you have helped out that make you feel macam, okay, I think I'm on the right step.
Absolutely. The first person that I saw was for my evaluation lah, like my first practice, right? So the fact that I can connect with that person and I see the changes in that person after my session, I felt like, okay, this is my calling. I've always felt that. I don't know, I just have always felt in my blood that this is for me. And I guess it is stemmed from where I came from, or how was I brought up. I was like, I didn't have a good relationship with my dad, and I was very promiscuous while I was growing up. I was very promiscuous, and I'm trying to understand why was I promiscuous, like why that I needed that affection from constantly. So it has got to do with my upbringing.
Kalau layman, they will say daddy issues lah.
Yeah, I definitely have daddy issues. So that's why I say, like, for dads, aku selalu cakap, bapa please lah, sayang, tunjuk kasih sayang pada anak-anak perempuan korang. You guys are the most important figure dalam kehidupan anak-anak perempuan korang.
We need to set the standard, bro.
Yeah. Because if you already set that good standard, you show what type of husband you are and all that. I'm not shitting down on my dad. It's just his experience. And through this, aku pun belajar untuk faham kenapa bapa aku macam gitu. So I exercise empathy. I have no anger towards him anymore because I feel that it has already been resolved. So I understood why my life became like that. And I understood why I wasn't diagnosed, but I felt that I was addicted to sex while I was growing up. It's like, it's a constant thing that I always need to have. Macam orang cakap, oh my God, she just have a high sex drive. But I feel it's more of a psychological thing for me. So based from that, I felt that, okay, you know what, I wanna find out why am I like this? Why was my life like that? And I found my answers through healing. So one of the few works that I do as of course as a coach is helping my future clients to kirakan do trauma empowerment. You know, so kita tak shame that person from going through many things. And one of the thing that we practice in Somatic, where my school is to make sure we de-shamify a lot of things. We give our clients the tools to heal or to de-shamify benda-benda yang diorang rasa malu sendiri, and that's where they have very low self-esteem. Also they start they self-hate and all that stuff. So it's not just about all of this, again, ingat tak, layered. It's all layered.
Yeah.
So in order for you to understand or have the best around pleasure or whatever, you have to really start from ground zero, which is yourself. Yeah.
I really like how confident you are. It's very susah nak nampak like this kind of confidence to actually tell like what you want in life and what makes you a person like this right now and everything. It's very hard for people to actually admit it, but because it's shame.
Yeah, it's because of shame.
Yeah, but I'm really surprised that to see this part of you.
It's really it's all about trauma empowerment. It's bukan it is celebrating and empowering yourself through all the scars that you've been through in life. That is just part of life, and you shouldn't shame yourself for being this, being that. Kita dekat sekolah cikgu tanya, so what are the things that you're shameful about? So one of the things I said was, I've worked through a few things already, but the thing that really made me cry deeply was the shame of failing. Because I was never ever praised in my life. So okay, let me tell you that how I feel, our traumas sometimes can coincide with the things that arouses us.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you something that is very kosher lah. So
kau tahu kosher apa tak?
Kosher
Tak apa,
macam
kau sambung.
very
Very halal sikit.
very halal sikit.
Halal.
Very PG lah. Maybe M16. N16.
N16.
Okay. So because I've never been praised all my life, like I always have to seek the approval of my parents. You know, until now, even to my husband, I feel that is the thing that I have to keep working on. Kan? So how coming to the arousal part, how I noticed the things that arouses me is praise kings. So I like being praised. So being praised, sometimes I'm either in bed or let's say we're doing like dirty talk, whatever, and I get praise, right? That arouses me.
Words of affirmation is your...
Yeah, love language, words of affirmation. But macam one of the things like that is I consider an arousal or kink of sorts is praising. Yeah. So some people say, why do I like this? Okay. For another thing is, why do some people like being dominant or being submissive? It has got to do with how they grew up, believe it or not, or the traumas that they went through.
Oh shit! Now it makes sense.
Yeah. If you try and dig deep, when you think about things that arouses you, does it macam coincide dengan kau punya upbringing, your childhood experience and all that? People, because one of the books that I've written by I cannot remember the title of the book, but later aku nanti bilang Aidi lah. Okay.
Dia macam ibaratkan, aku kasih example lah. You let me know if I can become your assistant. So dia macam ibaratkan macam kau daripada muda kan, kau have always been put to be in charge of something. So kau the leader, kau nak kena make sure everything go perfect apa gini semua. So when it comes to arousal part, that is why sometimes some people macam lebih suka be the submissive one.
Yeah. It could be
dia macam I'm done pleasing people, today you please me.
Yes.
Dr. Aidi. So $300.
There's no macam a pattern of whatever. It could be opposites or apa tadi? Oh, it could be opposites or it could be similar. Macam aku tadi quite similar. Aku jarang di-praise. So I feel like arousal praising arouses me kan. So one of in the books that I learned, so one case study was So this lady, growing up, she was shamed because she was caught masturbating by her mother. She was caught.
At what age?
I think maybe like teenager ke apa
Okay.
lah, or
That's
maybe
scary.
like as a kid, I don't know. She might be touching herself in an inappropriate, air quotes, inappropriate manner. Okay. So I'll get to that later. So that's just the context. So when she grew up, her biggest kink or arousal is because mak dia shame, macam suruh dia tutup baju, kau tak boleh buat gini, like they macam shame her in that manner. So as an adult, one of the things after the coach have explored with her and ask her what are the main thing that you feel most aroused when you think about your dirty movie. Okay, dirty movie is like in your fantasy, you're trying to embody what is the thing that kau rasa akan buat kau gairah lah. So what the girl said was, in my dirty movie, I imagine, or it brings me a whole lot of arousal when I am watched while I'm stripping.
Oh.
So you get it?
To the making. Okay, get it.
So the mother suruh dia tutup pasal malukan dia. Kau tak tahu
Yes.
malu kat lagi gini. Tapi for her, in her head, her
It resulted
arousal,
in the...
it resulted in being aroused when she's being watched by many men. That is just, aku bukan disclaimer, I'm not saying that okay, this is what you're supposed to do. This is just a case study for you to
Maybe for
understand.
one individual, not
Maybe
everyone.
korang yang dengar, korang reflect lah.
Yeah, so for you to understand what is what. So it's stemmed by certain traumas or childhood upbringing. Now you go back to your arousal. Has it got to do? Because sometimes benda-benda yang arouses kita ni, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense at all. Right?
Okay.
But at the same time, of course, kalau kita nak fikir balik when it comes to religious obligations, that's why kita ada akal untuk kita fikirkan. Right? Certain in having you, that explains the thoughts in your head, the things that maybe the things you like to do in bed or whatever, it is stemmed to that. Sometimes orang pun tak tahu. People won't understand, or they don't even know what arouses them until they sit down and then be one with their body and ask themselves.
Alright.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's not really just like masukkan main. It's nothing dirty. It's really all psychological.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arousal starts all in the mind. It's not, of course, certain people suka tengok and say, oh, that is easy lah, physical arousal and all that. But I feel to prolong that, you have to understand what's in your head.
Alright.
Awesome.
Okay guys, kita dah habis part 1 of kita punya interview dengan kita punya sex and relationship coach in training, Dee Ashburn. Jangan ke mana-mana. We're gonna go to part 2 with a little bit more spicier questions and a bit more panas questions. So yeah, jangan ke mana-mana. And we hope you guys enjoyed the ASMR moaning that we did for you guys. And please do so at your own timing. Tapi sebelum kita jump to part 2, jangan lupa podcast ni dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh kami dari Team Ronin. Nak kurus, jangan lupa 2 product 1 practice.
2 product 1 practice ada 2 produk. Unimate dengan BioLife S. Unimate is for your morning, BioLife S is before your lunch and before your dinner.
So if you want to try FeelGreat, go to our individual bios.
Aidi.Isham
Ana Zeya.
And also sebelum kita pergi, jangan lupalah sambil korang transition to part 2, jangan lupa untuk follow Dee Ashburn and her podcast Love Sex What the Fuck dekat Instagram and also on TikTok. Dan kita akan and Spotify. Kita akan jumpa korang in the next episode. Ciao.
AKP di studio, jom dengar Al-Kisah, nak buka cerita. Tak kisah, tak kisah, Al-Kisah, Al-Kisah, Al-Kisah production. 3 budak dope dalam stu, semua stick macam glue, semua sick macam flu, Dulu tak kenal, now you know. Guess who? Pass the mic, pedas panas padu, AKP di studio, jom dengar Al-Kisah, nak buka cerita. Tak kisah, tak kisah, Al-Kisah, Al-Kisah, Al-Kisah production.